Welcome back to the Corde Snell Show. I'm the guy, Corde Snell. Hell yeah, guys. Welcome back. What's up, Jared? How you been?
Another day in paradise, Corde. I'm good.
That's a lot. What's up, Noah?
Ski. No, I'm just kidding.
Out the gate. Okay. All right.
Yes, sir.
What, you fuck this week or something like that? Why you say ski?
No, I just watched the Donnell Rawlings special.
Oh, that's ski.
Ski.
Hell yeah. It was good, right?
So good.
Yeah, man. I told you, man.
Yeah, man. I was dying.
It's funny too, because like you mentioned in this, and I'm saying it. I remember because I was telling you guys last week, and it's always funny when you like open for a comic and it's kind of like you put it. It's always funny. I can't tell if people thinking like I'm saying this because I opened for this person when I actually like, nah, this special is actually pretty fucking good, and I enjoyed it myself. So I'm just like, I love to promote stuff. And I'm like, this special is actually really, really good. So you really liked it, Noah?
Yeah, it was really good.
Did you? What was one of your favorite jokes? Do you remember?
Dude, just like that, the constant ski references, bro. Yeah. That shit, that hit me. That stayed in there.
Did you? Do you know about Dr. Umar?
No.
You don't? Okay. Did you? So okay, that joke probably didn't hit as much with you, huh?
No.
Okay, so it's cool. If you guys can't tell, Noah's white. So Donnell Rawlings, go watch this special on Netflix. It's called A New Day. He has a joke about Dr. Umar Johnson, who believes like black men should date black women. We should not integrate. We should not have interracial relationships, stuff like that. And then Donnell Rawlings talks about, he was like, what? He's like, have you ever had your dick sucked by a white devil, Dr. Umar? He's like, what if she's sucking your dick for reparations, or for slavery? Like, I'm messing it up, but it's so damn good. It is so damn funny. Speaking of which, I didn't even write this down. Interracial relationships. I'm into it. I've been dating chicks interracially, like basically my whole life, but it started in the 5th grade. One of my jokes talks about this because I dated a chick in 5th grade. Her name was Erica. It's funny. I got stories. Name was Erica. She was cute as hell. Started dating her in the 5th grade. And because I dated her in the 5th grade, my family from that then on point, they said, oh, Corde, you like white girls. And they just stuck with me ever since. So I used to go on stage and be like, oh, I date white girls. Or at least my family say I date white girls because I dated one in the 5th grade. I'm 34 right now. So I still can't shake that. I still can't shake that at all. It's funny as hell. Like, even so much so I would have black girlfriends and my family would be like, you still out here dating white girls? I was like, my girlfriend name is Jasmine or something like that, right? They was like, let me see a picture. Let me see a picture of what she look like. And they was like, oh, she black. I'm like, yeah, she's black. I date black women. And it is so funny because it's like once you date like a chick of another race, especially black people, they automatically think that's all you gonna date. That's all you ever gonna date. Yo, so much so, I used to date only black women like all of high school. I think like most of middle school and high school, I did only black women because my mom was super big on marry a black woman, date a black woman. They relate more to you. I just want to see you with a black woman and stuff like that, right? Until I met this fine ass chick named Christina, junior year of high school. She was so gorgeous, I didn't even know what to say. Also, y'all probably can't tell, I used to be super shy. Until about my sophomore year, and then up until that moment, because I remember I always thought she was cute, but this chick had a kid as a junior, and this how fine she was. I was like, I will help you raise your daughter. Like, I'm a junior. I'm like, I ain't trying to raise no kids, but it was just, that's how fine she was. And I remember after that, because I didn't say nothing, and she was standing there, and I was so shy, I didn't know what to say, because my cousin called her over, and I was like, yo, this might change my whole look on like dating outside my race, right? Because I was thinking about it, like, I'm trying to prove to my family that I date black women instead of making myself happy. I was trying to make them happy. And that's happened a few times, right? Like, the thing about in the black community, I know you guys don't know about this a lot, is they always say black men leave black women behind, right? Like, we always leave when we date outside our race, stuff like that. Black men are dating outside the race. They don't, or they be like, black men don't date black women, which the funny thing about it, like, I've never been like the most popular dude. I never been like the finest looking dude or anything like that. Like, I was in the Yu-Gi-Oh, I was in the Pokemon. I'm wearing my Dragon Ball Z shirt right now. Chicks wasn't into Dragon Ball Z back in the days. They thought it was stupid. Like, nowadays it's like nerds and stuff like that, geeks and her in the anime, women are in the anime hella much right now. That didn't happen back in the day. That was not a thing. You know how mad I was? Because I was out here looking for chicks who in anime. There was none. Zero, all right? Absolutely none at all, all right? And then now it's just like, oh, I like anime. I'm like, well, bitch, where was you in middle school, all right? Where was you in high school and college when I was looking for you, all right? was leading me to my next thing. I remember my mom was never into me dating white women. I remember my mom used to tell me all the time, Corde, don't you bring a white girl in this house. You can't bring a white girl home. And then I used to always joke. I was like, hey, I can't date no white women. My homies be like, why not? And I'm like, because she ain't going to be able to come in the house. Like, they was like, once you sneak her in, I was like, sneak a white woman into my black mama's house? Do you want us both to get killed? I don't want my mama on the news. You crazy? Like, like finding out that she told me, well, you can't break rules in a black household, and to break the ultimate rule, the ultimate sin of bringing a white woman in the house. Imagine we in the bed together. You know how mad my mama would be if she found a white woman in my bed? Like, my dad would be proud, but my mom would be upset, all right? That shit would be terrible for me. Like, my mom would go to jail that night for killing her son and this random white chick. It would be terrible, right? So like I was saying, I dated a black woman in college, right? So I was dating black women in college because I remember specifically like my college friends would be like, Corde, why you date white girls? You only be dating white girls, stuff like that. Or because they was all taken. Like my homegirls had boyfriends, my homeboys had girlfriends. They was like, Corde, why you single? You out here to be dating these white women and stuff like that. Why you still single? You trying to get these white chicks? I was like, I'm trying to date black women to prove y'all wrong that I'm not just out here dating white chicks and stuff like that, right? And it was like, oh, Corde, we give you shit, like, but date who make you happy. And I was like, I was trying to date that chick, that Eritrean chick, that African chick. I was trying to give y'all like no reasons to say anything to me, right? And it was like, oh, Corde, don't you know Eritrean chicks is crazy? Especially the one, I was like, I knew her family, and I could have told you that wasn't gonna go well. that you shouldn't have did that. And then I just started learning. I started learning that you should date somebody who makes you happy no matter what their race, because date somebody who makes you happy, because it's because it's a surreal moment, because like sometimes it still be like a struggle. I be dating other women from other races, and I still be getting kind of like oh shit, like still like, all right, somebody gonna say something to me that I'm dating a chick from my other race, like that I'm not dating a black woman, because a lot of times people be so pro-black and thinking that you always got to date a black woman. But the funny thing about it, not every black woman you get along with. I mean, not everybody's dating. People just don't get along, right? And we boil it all down to race. But sometimes if you're from like different areas, different brackets, stuff like that, you might not have a lot in common besides the fact you're black, right? Like I know specifically, people always tease me because they always say I date white women. They say, Corde, we know you love white girls. We know you be dating only white girls, stuff like that. And if people really knew me or really paid attention, I don't really just love white girls. I really just like who like me, but really I love Latinas. Like I love dating a thick Latina, or Latinas is just like cute as hell to me. Like the first chick I ever fell in love with is Latina. And it's just something that I really just, like, just growing up. Something I like. I guess I just been around them a bunch, like you grow up in like mainly white schools, but it's like black, whites, Latinos, Latinas, stuff like that. So it's just what I gear towards, right? Also, it was funny too because my mom kept putting the emphasis on date a black woman, Corde. You need to date a black woman. A black woman will just help you. A black woman will be great for you. A black woman will just, be perfect for you. All right. But what she failed to realize, was that I broke it down to her why it was hard for me to date a black woman, especially in my community college. It was something that I noticed that was going on, was specifically that black women would be dating older women, dating older men. All right. Specifically, I noticed that a lot of times black women who was around like my same age or like wanted to transfer, go to like a 4-year university, right? They wanted somebody who was older, right? They either wanted somebody older or they wanted like a different type of dude, right? The guy who was older, he usually had an apartment, he had a car, which I didn't have at the time, and then he had a job. Now, he didn't have like a career job. He worked for FedEx. This is like 2008, 2009, 2010, probably making $18, $19, $20 an hour. Then that was a whole lot of money because it's like, oh girl, he got my dude got him like an apartment. I'll be going to his house, and he got a car, so he come pick me up, and that was like a big thing. Like it was funny because sometimes chicks would be like, they didn't have a car, but they always wanted a dude to come pick them up. Like I was like, well, I got access to a car. I was like, well, I want you to need to have a car all the time. You know, just can't pick me up sometimes. I'm like, do you have a car? No. That's what I got to do. Who got a car? Like, because he can go pick me up anytime I want it, right? And it was always funny to me that chicks my age was dating somebody who, over time, they would outgrow. Because if your dude only works at FedEx and he just got an apartment and just work, not going to school or nothing like that, eventually you're going to outgrow this dude. You're going to go to a 4-year university. You might transfer to a different area, like, because we was in the Bay Area at the time. You might go to, like, L.A. You might go to the East Coast. You don't know what schools or universities you're going to go to, right? And then there was another type of a woman who I noticed in my community college, just, like, the area I was in. A lot of chicks love bad boys. Like, a lot of chicks, like, love thugs. Like, black women, Latina, like, everybody loves a thug. Everybody loves a bad boy. They call them thugs in the black and Latino community, right? So a lot of times I used to notice a lot of the thugs used to love to come up to my community college and date some of the women. The women, especially when it was going places, they would always attach themselves to women who might be like, oh yeah, I'm trying to go, like, I'm about to start my nursing career. I'm about to go like a dental hygienist, or like I'm about to transfer to Berkeley. They would always just kind of find them and then like attach themselves to. When you're not going nowhere, they always found somebody who'd attach themselves with, right? So then a lot of women who I would normally talk to who was like nerds or like into anime, or maybe like kind of figure out y'all had the same thing in common, they always like the bad boy, like, I don't know, he's not, or this is what I always say. They were like, no, he not like that. Every time when he with me, he nice. He nice to me. Like, I don't think he really be like that, right? And I'm like, no, that's a fake profile he's doing with you. Of course he's nice around you, but other times he beating dudes' asses, like he in a gang, or he just like a straight up thug. He ain't got nothing going for himself. And eventually I was like, wow, watch. The way to keep her, she gonna end up pregnant. Watch. I just say that all the time. And more than likely it would happen, or he wouldn't get her pregnant, but he would just fuck up her mind so much. So he'd be like, why you always at school? Why you always doing this? You just take this semester off. But if she had a car, right, the dude would always pull up to community college in her car, burning up all of her gas and all that kind of stuff, right? But chicks love bad boys, and you know, chicks is young, so they experience that. So what I would say was, I told my mom, like, a lot of girls who I like to date, who I'm attracted to, they're dating bad boys. I'm not a bad boy. You raised me not to be one, and all that kind of stuff, right? And then when they doing that, the thugs normally date chicks who usually love to date thugs. Usually, like, some chicks call them ratchet or ghetto, or just like a chick who's down for dudes who are thugs, right? They leave them behind. Now, I'm trying to talk to them, and we really ain't got much in common. One, I'm not a thug. Two, I mean, I got tattoos, but it's not thug or gang related tattoos or anything like that. Don't like anime. And then it's like a difference of like, just like mindsets, and like we don't really get along. Like, oh, well, my last dude, you know, he's in jail. Like, what? Like, or my last dude, he was in the gang. I was like, what the fuck? Like, you this type of dude you date? Oh, I mean, but they was cool. Like, when we hung out, it was cool, we hung out all the time, but he like sold drugs, stuff like that. He sold weed, he sold other stuff. I'm like, what the fuck? And so then I'm like, all right, well, so my mom want me to date a black woman, but thugs are dating the chicks who I normally date or have a lot of stuff in common with. Now I'm turning to these other chicks who I have nothing in common with, but except the fact that they're black. So I started looking around. Who chicks I have stuff in common with? Usually Latinas, usually Asian chicks, or sometimes like white chicks. Wasn't a lot of white chicks, the community college I went to. But then you turn to other races and like look for the same things you have in common with. And a lot of times too, I think I always hate is that people always assume that you never trying to date your own race, that you never like, no, you ain't even out here dating us. That's why it's hard for black women out here. And I'm like, try to date y'all, but y'all make it hard for whatever reasons, right? So yeah, that's like a whole tangent. And I explained that to my mom, and my mom understood it. She was like, oh, so you are actually trying to date your own race, but that is hard to deal with. My mom dated a bunch of people. She's like, yeah, I did date a dude who was like a thug, or like a dude who was just bad for you. My sister dated a thug or two or whatever, or an older guy or stuff. So she understood where I was coming from and heard the man side of it. Like, oh, you are actually trying out here, but it's hard. Like, dating is hard as shit. Like, Jared know it's hard out here dating, you want to chime in?
Yeah, it looks like it's really hard out there.
Yeah, it's hard out here. Yeah, he got a girl. So, no, it's hard out here, right?
It's very hard out here, man.
Hell yeah, it's hard for dudes out here, man. It's hard as shit. Like, which leads to my next thing, fellas. Sometimes women, you are not a woman's type. You know, like sometimes you are not a woman's type. Like sometimes you be like looking cool no matter what, and then they like dudes who look disgusting, like or like homeless dudes. I remember this happened one time. I remember I was working at this place called I think it's called Conservative Music, and this fine chick. I wasn't trying to get her, but I just thought she was bad as hell. And then I met her dude. This dude had long hair. He looked like Sideshow Bob, except it was dirty. And I remember one time they ran to school. I was like, watch out, run to school. So they're all like sweaty and musty and stuff like that. I was watching her. It's like, oh, he thought it was a good idea. So I thought we should run to school. And he's like, yeah, it's a good idea. This dude was weird as shit. Like, I remember because we was cool with her mom. It was like, do you like him? She was like, oh, you know, he's cool, whatever. Hopefully it's just a face, whatever. Because it was like French or Romanian or something like that, right? And so like her mom kind of had like an accent, but she was born here. But she was and I was like, this dude is weird as shit. Like he just looked straight up homeless. And sometimes I'd be like, yo, sometimes you aren't a woman's type. Like you can look nice and like cool and dress nice, but maybe she don't like that. Maybe she like a dude who looks dirty, all right? And are you willing to give up showering to date this woman? I know I wouldn't at all. But if it was a sexy ass goth chick out there, I would go to metal concerts and wear that white paint shit like that, or just dressing all black. Well, I'm dressing mostly black all the time, but hell yeah, I rock some chains or like the little spiky collar. You know, I don't want people around my neck. Had a little spike thing. Hey, y'all, real quick, Noah, Jared, if you ever see me with a hella sexy ass goth chick, just know I'm happy as shit. Like my fantasy has came alive, right? I was talking to somebody the other day. Remember, you guys ever see the show Rock of Love?
Yeah.
Love that show. I remember I watched that show more than the Flavor Flav show because every single chick on that show was like a type of chick that I loved that nobody knew about, right? Like tatted up, like black hair with the green streaks or some shit like that. Like, I don't know, it's something about chicks who thick and like hella tatted up and shit like that I just love. I don't know what it is. Like, I don't even go to metal shows, but I always said I should because I could pick up a chick, but I always feel weird because I dress differently. So I'm like, man, where these metal chicks be at? Where these punk rock chicks? I swear to, I love them. And every time I tell a homie that, they were like, what? Like, I don't get it. I was like, bruh, I just trust me like that. They look sexy as shit. But it'd be hard. Like, another thing. I remember one time I tried to get at a goth chick at my community college, right? She was short, she was thick, she had like the white paint face, whatever makeup that she was on. And it was like, Corde, you really gonna try to talk to her? I was like, bet. He was like, I bet you won't. So I went over and talked to her, introduced myself to her and like her whole crew. They all had like black leather on or something. Like one dude looked like straight out the Matrix or some shit like that. Or when what's the one with the vampire movie, not Underworld, but the teenage love story one. Twilight. They was all like kind of looking like Twilight, everybody looking like Eric with the fucking with the pale skin, right? And then I'm the fucking wolf trying to come in on Bella. Like it was funny as shit. And I remember it was funny because we started talking like kind of just on a regular, like we would see each other, we would kind of talk and actually I was trying to get to know her. Like I see her in class. I was like, hey, can I walk you to class? And her friends were like, why are you walking into class? It was like, oh no, you can't walk me to class, whatever. Cause she thought it was weird. Cause then one of her friends said, aren't you on the football team? And I was like, yeah. She's like, oh, okay. And then she was like, I'm not into football. I was like, you ain't gotta be. So it was funny that I started to create like a little bit of chemistry and try to talk to her, but her friends was just like keeping her away from me. Like, no, he's on the football team. He's not serious about it. And then like, I think like a month, like two, I hadn't seen her like how long. And then like 2 or 3 months later, she had a dude or something like that. I was like, fuck. And I remember I saw her, I was like pointing to her hand. I was like, and she was like, and then we talked later. I was like, yo, you like, I really liked you. You never gave me a shot. She was like, oh, I thought this was a joke. I was like, a joke? She's like, yeah, well, you on the football team. So what the fuck does that matter? It was like, oh, you know, she's like, you know, football player, tries to date a goth girl. It's like a whole little joke and shit like that. And y'all like go and laugh about it. And I was like, no, I actually liked you. Like, I was like, I'm not like your typical football jock. Like I study and like I try to like be like an educated jock, you know. She's like, oh, damn. I think she quoted like the movie She's All That, where he like, she had like the painted overall stuff like that, and they trying to change her into like prom queen. She thought I was trying to do that. And I was like, first off, great movie, all right, loved it, all right. I was like, I would accept you what you is. I was like, I know you're a golf chick. I was like, what you like, Twilight? She's like, I fucking hate Twilight. I was like, oh, you serious? You hate Twilight? She's like, I like Underworld. I was like, I fucking love Underworld too. Like, it's a way better series. So we had like this little moment of connection, and then her dude was like, hey babe, let's go. So it was like this weird ass romantic moment of like, she like was walking off and she like kind of turned back and looked, and I'm looking at her too, like what could have been, like what could have been, dude. It was super crazy.
Twilight's better, by the way.
Shut the fuck up. No, the fuck it ain't. The hell you talking about? The hell you talking about, yo? And no, explain to me this. All right, how is Twilight better? Okay, can vampires be outside in the sun?
Not yes and no. They sparkle.
I ain't never heard no shit like that. In what vampire movie or vampire realm have you ever heard that vampires can go outside in the sun and battle? All of a sudden now, because they're in Seattle, it's always cloudy and shit. No, any sun, all right? Anything. And also, with clouds, there's more rays coming through the clouds like a magnifying glass. So these fucking vampires should be dead. There was no reason that a wolf should have lost to a vampire during the day. Because you know why? Because the vampires have been fucking dead, okay? All right? Made no sense. That was the whole stupid premise of the movie that I never understand. They fighting in the daylight. No, bitch, you fight at night so you don't get burned.
They have powers too.
Okay. Blade got powers. You ain't seen Blade 1, 2, and 3. You ain't seen Underworld, where literally they have like fucking Roman people going back to like the 1600s and shit like that. They got powers. The one dude became a vampire and like infusion type of shit like that, right? Also, shout out to Kate Beckinsale because she's fine as shit, all right?
You're not allowed to date her.
Huh?
You're not allowed to date her.
Shut the fuck up, dude. I'll kill you over Kate Beckinsale. Not really, but hey, don't fucking, hey, no. The Kate Beckinsale can get it. Yeah, all right. Why am I not allowed to date her? Because I'm not a golf person? Okay, I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing.
Oh, because your mom said you couldn't date.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, I don't want her to get killed. You know the moment I stopped listening to my mom when that Jacob stopped dating white women, or I can't bring a white woman home. Y'all want to know when?
Yesterday.
Yes.
Okay, I was waiting for Noah. Noah's like, look, you guys can't see him. Noah's just like this. Look to the mic, just.
Which is funny because Noah can move his microphone however he would like to make this less difficult for him. But, he likes to do things his own way.
Yeah, the struggle's real.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, you asked us when.
When. Okay, so my sister brought a white dude home. Right? So my mom's telling me this whole entire time I can't bring a white woman home. If I can date her, you can date her, but don't bring her to this house. Don't bring no white woman in my house. Don't bring no white woman in this house. And my sister brings a white guy home. And then she's like, oh my God, hello, how are you doing? I'm like, what the fuck is this bullshit, right? And I'm like, hella mad. She's like, oh, it's like, come in here, sit down. How you want something to eat? I'll feed. I'm just like, yo. All my life I've been told I can't bring a white woman home, but she bring a white man into this fucking house and in this black household. Then my dad walks up, hey man, how's it going? What's your name? All right, okay. And I'm like, my dad on the side too. Like I was so distraught. My sister was kind of like teasing me too. It's like, yeah, you can't bring no white chick in here, but I can bring a white dude home. I was like, fuck this, fuck all this. I'm gonna bring a white chick the next day. Then I had to realize I love Latinas more than I love white chicks, so I really wasn't. And I was talking to Latina at the time too. I was trying to get back with her. It was, yeah. So then after that day, I was like, man, I'm about to date whoever the fuck I want to. I'm gonna be happy with who I want to date, and y'all can't tell me shit. All right. So yeah. Twilight sucks. That's all we gotta say. Oh, hell yeah. Akira Toriyama passed, yo. Akira Toriyama passed. Sad day. That's why I'm rocking the DBZ shirt. DBZ was one of my favorite shows growing up. Dope as hell. I told you guys I was in a Yu-Gi-Oh! The first few episodes was named after Yu-Gi-Oh! Just like different things. But DBZ was probably like the first anime that I really watched. that I really loved. That was super great. I still remember. I still remember like the theme song or the re-theme song that they made because DBZ took forever for it to catch on here in the States. I think it didn't catch on to like the early 2000s, right? But they tried to like bring it out in like 1996, but they just didn't roll it out right. So they came out with the dope ass, I think, metal intros like dragon, watch the dragon balls. Ah! Like, yo, that shit had me going. I was like, yeah, like, cause you know every dude you know tried to go Super Saiyan, and this is before Super Saiyan was a thing. People were saying like KO Ken ×3 as you tried to fight, right? Like it was dope as hell. Cause I still remember when Goku went Super Saiyan, I was mad because I missed most of the episode when he fucking did it. When they killed Krillin, just fucking like and fucking with Super Saiyan, yo. It was so incredible and so dope. And then the Super Saiyan 3 episode when we knew it was coming, it took him a fucking week to go Super Saiyan 3. Like every time they would always do like these side things, these side missions, stuff like that. And I remember he didn't turn because they teased it Monday, teased it for the next 5 days, and then he finally turned Super Saiyan 3 or towards the end of the episode, and then he turned Super Saiyan 3 Tuesday. Imagine being teased for a week and a day. Back in the day where there's no TiVo, you gotta watch it because it came on like 5:30, I think at the time on Toonami, Channel 54, Cartoon Network, right? You had to watch it because you couldn't record it, so you had to make sure that you saw it. Otherwise, if you didn't see it, you missed it, and then you had to wait. You had to wait for them to run out of new episodes. They got to retranslate everything to rewatch it probably 4 to 6 months from now. So if it came on like in November, you got to wait till fucking May to see the re-airing of the episodes that you missed. So it was crazy. Then they went to Dragon Ball GT. Toriyama didn't really work with that one, so it's considered not canon, even though I felt they did some of the dopest stuff. Like they went Super Saiyan 4, brought the Tails back, Golden Azaru, just a bunch of different stuff. It's funny because I love GT, but a lot of people shit on GT all the time because they said it was stupid, it was dumb as hell, and it just started bad, right? Because GT, like all of a sudden, first episode, they wish Goku to be a kid again. So he goes from being like a grown ass adult to be a little kid, so he's not as strong and stuff like that. Because the dudes wanted to beat him. Then all of a sudden, they was like, we got to find these black Dragon Balls, and they're across the galaxy. Most of the time, Dragon Balls just like went across the world, so they had like a little tracker, but now they had to go to the galaxy. And that whole thing in the galaxy was whack as fuck because it was Goku going to different planets, fighting these weak ass people, and that part was weak. But then when they met Baby on one of the planets, then it became the Baby Saga. From that moment on, GT was lit. And then there was another part where they used Dragon Balls too much, and then they cracked and all that shit. But that GT was dope to me. Now it's Dragon Ball Super, and it's like a bunch of different story arcs. I read a bunch of stuff, and all of my homies are like on like the manga and stuff like that. And Toriyama created one of the best series ever. They raised a lot of teen boys and kids that was probably unmatched. Like if it wasn't for Dragon Ball Z, probably Yu-Gi-Oh wouldn't have caught on, Naruto wouldn't have caught on, One Piece, any anime you see now like Bleach, My Hero Academia, Attack on Titan, those all probably wouldn't be possible or would be shown without Akira Toriyama bringing Dragon Ball Z to the U.S. So Akira Toriyama, fucking up his name, Toriyama, you are loved, you are missed. We are sad that you are gone. You made a hell of a show that's been going on forever because it was Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball GT, and then Dragon Ball Super, what's going on now. There's even a spin-off fan base one that's called Dragon Ball Heroes that brings all the stuff that happened throughout all the Dragon Balls on YouTube. Love you. We miss you. Sorry that you're gone. Yeah. Damn. So I've been dating. I be out here dating. I be out here dating, y'all. We talked about how some chicks aren't, they don't consider you're a type. And I just like, I went on a date recently. I don't want to say this because sometimes people be watching it. But no, I'll be going on dates sometimes because I'm not like exclusive with anyone just yet. But I'll be going on dates sometimes. And I remember dates in the past too, really. Like I remember it was like a year or two ago. I remember a chick told me that she hates small talk. Like I hate sometimes dating apps be so frustrating because chicks will be on dating apps talking about how they hate small talk, how they hate like the good morning, the yada yada, the da 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 da, right? But a lot of times women who be saying this literally add nothing else to the conversation. And a person like me, like the day might change. Like, good morning, how you doing today? What's up? How's work? And then we might get into some other shit. And chicks be like, I hate small talk. Like that's something that bothers me. I hate small talk. But they never bring up a subject that y'all can talk about together. Like they'd be like, hey, well, do you like traveling? Like, yes, I like traveling. I travel here, something like that. Like they it's always on the guy in this sense to bring up a topic so we can figure them out for them that they want to talk about that they're really into. It's really one-sided. And it's something that I really hate sometimes when dating because, dating gets tiring. You ask a lot of people the same questions and things like that. But then when the women who say they hate small talk, I'm just like, but you're not even adding to this damn conversation. I'm coming up with everything. Like, what's your favorite place to go? Do you like this food? Have you been here before? Do you like to travel? What place have you traveled to? Are you? What's your ethnicity? Well, I couldn't tell. Like all this back and forth. You got kids? Yes, you have kids. How long? Like, how old are they? Like, okay, is it same dad? Like, no, it's two dads. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Well, what happened in that relationship? And then you start getting like the nitty gritty, then some actual interest and stuff that you try to find out about them. Like, this is too personal. Like, bitch, like, are we serious right now? Are you serious? Like, this is too personal. Like, the moment I finally find out something about you that I don't know that you're actually interested in, or that I might actually divulge what type of person you are, what type of human being you are, or why this relationship didn't work out. Now you pushing the brakes. Like, yeah, this is too much. I don't want to talk about this right now. Well, okay, why don't you come up with something? All right. Once you come up with something, I hate that. Or this is what I hate, really. I hate when you take a chick out on a date and they decide that they don't want to go on another date after you pay. They never say before you pay because a lot of it's this weird ass dynamic. Like sometimes a chick will offer to pay, you be like, nah, I got it, and you pay, and they be like, I don't see this going nowhere. I think I really like you, but I think see you more as a friend. Or they say, you want to go half? And then you go half. And it was like, oh, well, I didn't like the fact that I had to go half with you. So that's why I didn't feel like could go further. Like I didn't, that's not something I like. I want somebody to provide for me. I'm like, girl, what is this trick mind games, right? And then I thought I was thinking about it, right? I feel like women decide after the first date if they want to keep going out with you, right? And then dudes decide after the first time y'all have sex if he want to keep going out with her. Like, because like after the time, some dudes like chase chicks just to have sex with them and stuff like that. And if it's good or if it's just like all the bullshit leading up to it, they be like, well, I'm just gonna fuck this chick, and then after this, I'm gonna decide. I'm gonna decide if I want to keep hanging out with her. And that's why sometimes in dudes' heads, be like after they have sex, or like basically sometimes dudes do this. After he has sex with her, they be like, all that bullshit I had to put up with to get to this point to have sex with you, and the sex is trash, or the sex ain't that good, or you weird in bed, or like you do this weird thing, or like you're not good at like giving head, or you just lay there the whole time, and I gotta do everything. Like I gotta put up with all that and then have weak sex on top of that. Like I can't see this no more. I can't do all this. I've been wasting my time for all this time. I'm going. I'm out. I'm exit. I'm a bounce. And they be like, dudes are assholes. And they're the same. Y'all do the same thing with us. So we have a whole ass time. We got to plan the date. We got to figure out where we're going. We got to make sure the time is there. Might have to get a reservation. Then we got to show up on time. We got to make sure we don't be late. We got to, be super gentleman, which I always feel like dudes should be doing. And then we find out at the end of all that, at the end of the day, to be like, after you pay, I don't see this going anywhere. And I'm just like, girl, you know how much time I wasted doing this? Like, fuck, this shit is trash, right? This shit is trash as fuck, That's why dating sucks. What about you, Noah? What's some of your dating shit? What's happening with you, 20-year-old, 21, 19-year-old?
I don't have a lot going on in that world right now, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's actually kind of
just
sad.
told one to kick rocks.
Oh.
That's why he doesn't have anything going on, because he's been telling girls to kick rocks recently.
I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
Did they make you pay?
No.
Oh, what?
No.
Hold up. Okay. All right. Tell me more.
No, I just didn't even get to that spot.
Oh, okay.
So,
okay. So you was talking to these women for like a bit, and then you try to build up to a date, and then it just didn't happen.
Yeah, I was talking to this girl that lives in LA, and
okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
yeah. I know about her. Yeah.
Yeah. We were supposed to do something.
Okay.
Never happened.
All right.
It's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kick rocks.
I love it when he tells girls to kick rocks, because he'll say it loudly and where they can hear sometimes.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, no, this one's not as confident.
There was this girl at the gym he was kind of interested in, and then he met the one that we're talking about now.
Yeah.
And she's like in earshot, and I'm like, oh, so what about that person? He goes, oh, she can kick rocks. I don't think she was paying attention, but if she wanted to turn around, she could have heard him. And he's just like, kick rocks, man. Like, forget her. Why did I even start digging in on the treadmill? It was hilarious.
Yeah, no, this kick rocks is a lot less confident.
Oh, because you might go back to her, right?
You never know.
Yeah, you never know.
He's not closing the door.
Yeah, no, but there is no like going back, like we were just talking, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and it's sometimes it's like kick rocks is kind of like it's basically a sum up of like all the energy, all the stuff you put into it, to try to figure out like, okay, do I like this person? I think I do. Why they're interested in me? Let's see if we can build something. All right, this person lives far away. All right, we try to meet in the middle. Where should we meet? I have to plan this kind of thing. Like, what's the middle between here and LA? Maybe Fresno, but who the fuck want to be in Fresno like that? Like, okay, well, Bakersfield, but I'm going further. That's 4 hours from me, less from them. But it's like, okay, what the fuck is Bakersfield? Now I got to figure out a way to like go down to LA and make them an excuse, right? That's basically what you got to do. And what part of LA does she live in?
Hollywood.
Okay, all right. That's like first part of it.
She's in WeHo, right? West Hollywood?
Yeah.
I wasn't trying to get Pacific. I was just trying to area.
Let's get her address. Let's pull it up.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
so,
we can get real specific.
Just don't mention her name. Stacy.
I would never say Natalie's name out loud. That would be so weird.
Shit. Damn. That's not her name, but it's cool. Nah, it's funny because, you know, sometimes dudes are frustrated too, you know, like that's piggybacking to like another thing. Like, I just saw that Bumble was not allowing men to message first now. And that shit is fucking trash. All right. And the reason why it's trash is because I love Bumble, because Bumble gives women the perspective from where a guy comes. Right. But the funny thing about Bumble, right, is that so many women get turned off by having to make the first move that it like repels them. It's like, oh, this is so weird. It's so awkward. Like, I can't do this. Or let's say if they start matching with guys and then they strike up a conversation or they say something, it's like, guys are weird. Like, guys don't even reply. Like, they start getting in their feelings. Like, do you know how hard it is to get out of your comfort zone and strike up a conversation with a random stranger? And it's like, yes, we do. Yeah, we know exactly how it feels. And it's funny because a lot of the times women just turn into us. They'll just say, hey, or they'll do like the basic thing and just like come up with something. Or then Bumble came up with like, they'll send you a message and like a title, like, okay, what are some of your favorite restaurants to go to? Or what's your favorite type of food? And then you'll have to put in a response. And then when you put in your response, it unlocks their response. Like, Bumble literally had to start helping women how to make the first move, which I always found it was so damn hilarious. Cause I'm just like, damn, women are so bad at this thing because they're so not used to it. Bumble has to throw the assist. Bumble has to help them. Bumble has to come up with concepts to try to keep this shit going, right? And it's always funny because when we doing comedy, I asked women, did they try Bumble? And they was like, yes. I was like, did you like Bumble? Like, no, I didn't like Bumble. And their number one reaction is always because I had the message first. It is so hilarious to me because y'all get our experience in this time and in this moment, and y'all can't deal with it. It just makes me laugh so much because I'm just like, welcome to a man's world, yo. It just, get a taste of our medicine. You know, it's Like the shoe was on the other foot, or you're walking in our heels, or you're walking in our shoes, stuff like that. Because men wear heels because we wear dress shoes. So hell yeah. And it's just so funny to me because I remember when I said this, a chick got mad. I was like, oh, this is funny. And she's like, what? Do you have a problem with this? I was like, what do you mean? She's like, do you have a problem when men have to message first? Men are so lame on Bumble. They don't be saying nothing. I was like, yeah, that's all dating apps. Women don't be saying nothing back either. Or this was used to happen, right? A chick will say like barely anything on Bumble, and then like if the dude just responded to like the nothing she really said, we'll get a match because it was like literally it was like I'm gonna say this, and then now it's your turn to take over the conversation, and let's get back to the roles that we're normally used to. Like I remember, you could always tell a chick on Tinder or somewhere else had been on Bumble because she was like, I don't message first. I'm not gonna message first. That's why I got off Bumble. Like, or I don't message first. I'm like, oh, this chick had experience on Bumble. And then it's funny because chicks will blame dudes, be like, it's nothing but weird dudes on Bumble. And I'm like, I saw you on Tinder. We on both apps. Like, there's no weird dudes. We're on the same apps. What are you talking about? It's no weird dudes. You just feel it's weird because you have the message first, right? And then women be getting so defensive because they was like, well, if he really wanted to meet me, he would come up and talk to me. And I'm like, that's why a lot of y'all are single, right? This is why a lot of y'all are single, because most of the dudes who come up and talk to females are people who have confidence, people who are arrogant, people who have that natural ability to talk to women. A lot of times, those dudes are toxic. So a lot of times, you're only meeting toxic ass dudes. I always tell chicks, like, if you see a dude, walk up to him, strike up a conversation. It's going to be a little thrown off, but like my best relationships has been the ones where the chick took initiative. And she kind of like made it known that she wanted to date me. Like I remember one time I was in high school and then like I was talking to this chick back and forth. I already know where it was going. And then I went and sat in her seat, you know, being the player I am. And then like, I'm like, okay, I'm just talking to this chick. Ain't nothing really gonna happen, right? And then I'm like sitting in her desk, and she's sitting on top of her desk. And then she just started making out with me. And I was like, oh shit. I was like, well, I guess I got a chick now. Like I dated that chick for 2.5 years. Like sometimes women make the initiative, right? Because then you can figure out what type of, you know, if this dude who's not, you know, not talking to you, he might want to talk to you. Because also men and women have bad social cues where we can't read each other sometimes. Like sometimes chicks do like a very nonchalant thing where dudes don't know what the fuck that was. Because a lot of times dudes aren't used to women making the first move, right? Like, I remember a chick, I was like, what's your go-to move? She's like, oh, if I see a guy, like, I walk up to him like, hey, just want to let you know you have nice eyes. And I just walk away. And I was like, that's your move? She was like, yeah. And I was like, you know how weird that shit is? Like, you just walk up to a bunch of guys like, so what do you do after that? She's like, I just go wait and sit to see if he comes over. And I'm just like, what do you think about that, Jared? What do you think? Would that work on you?
If a girl came up to me out of nowhere, well, I'd be like, I have a girlfriend. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, if I was single, I don't know. I think at this point I'd be a little nervous. Like, why is she approaching men?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But like it's so then we turn into them thinking like, okay, why is this chick talking to us right now, right?
Right.
And then your homies might talk you out of it, be like, nah, that girl's weird. Don't talk to her, right? But it's really just like a kind of a thing that men aren't used to women talking to them. But sometimes if women make more of an effort, it's kind of like made it like, you know, kind of like shown interest a little more.
Right.
And like it'll become like more easier to recognize, right?
I think giving clear signals is good, but approaching is a bit much for me.
Okay. Well, I mean, approaching, that's true. I mean, because
like setting a trap. Like she makes it look like there's some girls who like what you're describing reminds me of girls who do absolutely nothing and go, I'm hot, you know, you have to come over here, do this. There's a middle ground where a girl's like, oh, I'll come up and like talk to you in a friendly way and then kind of like bat her eyes or do something that lets you know, like, hey, you can make this more.
Or like this, like the, oh my God, you know, kind of
manufactured aloofness.
Yeah, exactly. This ever happen to you guys? You ever fall for a chick because she's nice to you? Like, oh, this chick is really nice. She must like me.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I've thought I like girls because they're nice.
Okay, right. But then sometimes the chick is just nice and she's like, she's not into you.
Right.
Because, you know, most of the time when a chick is normally nice, that means she's into you, right? Right? That's usually how you, but it's just because we're not used to women just being openly friendly a lot to us. So guys misread it as like, oh, this chick must like me. That's why she's being nice. I'm like, oh, actually, she's nice and has a boyfriend or some shit like that, right? And I always just say, I was like, more ladies need to be nice. I was like, because more ladies would be nice, then we would not confuse those with boyfriends and those who actually like us. I was like, because everybody was nice, then or like the one chick who hangs out with a bunch of dudes, and he'd be like, yo, this chick would be like I really want to date this chick because she can just be one of the guys and like we can hang out and shit like that, right? But then be like, before you know it, she's already fucking somebody in the group. Or you'd be like, I can't make out with her, like, because it's gonna ruin the group, and then we gotta pick sides, like, do we want her back or shit like that? What if they break up? And then the whole time one of your homies is already smashing. He's like, fuck, right? Hell yeah. Just meet me halfway, like you said, instead of like the hot chick just sitting at the bar waiting and stuff. Did it get weird because sometimes chicks don't want to be disturbed, but they came out super sexy, super nice. So it's like, how I know you're not supposed to be disturbed when normally I got to come up and talk to you to strike up a conversation. It's like, oh, I don't want to be bothered. Like, oh, is this you playing hard to get? Like, is this kind of a weird thing? Like, kind of a thing like, oh no, just I don't like, oh yeah, no. It's just like these miscues or these misreading of things. Like, bro, it's like the dating scene is so hard and that stuff be so weird. Like, it's hella funny. That's why dating apps kind of help, but then it kind of didn't. Like, I remember when I first got on dating apps, I used to be like so awkward in person because I was just used to dating apps. Like, I remember one time I was on a dating app and then I was like matching. I was like just message chicks. And then I remember I struck out with a chick in person and I started going on dating apps again. And then people was like, I prefer meeting someone organically instead of a dating app. And I'm like, you can get left on red in person too. Like you get turned down in person as well. People always try to think that just because you meet off a dating app that it's not organic and shit like that, right? Also real quick too, the funny thing about dating apps was designed for older people who had lost their, like, who was like widows or like guys who had lost their wives, for them to meet somebody and fall in love or marry someone so you can be with someone before y'all both perish. That's initially what the reason dating apps were created. That's why I was like, if you remember, like early 2010s, 2009s, it was mostly for older people meeting other people. Then I think they did a social experiment with, let's test this on younger people and see if they would want to use this app to meet people. And then it fucking blew up. And then it became less of a focus on older people and a focus on young people meeting and shit like that, because they're going on dates. They're like meeting more. They start like, oh, we can fucking make them pay for this, all this kind of stuff, and all this premium. So yeah. Also, when is it dropping, on Monday?
Yes,
it's dropping Monday. So yeah, so today is Monday. What's up, guys? Hey, how's it going? Hope you have a great start to your week. I saw something on Instagram the other day, because this is Monday when this is happening. I saw something the other day where it was a newer comic saying, I'm tired of telling the same old jokes. Y'all give me topics so I can talk about tonight on stage when I host, right? And I feel like this ain't a negative thing. I'm not starting beef, because I would tell this person, I'll tell a shit to their face. New comics, that's a terrible fucking idea, all right? And I'll break down why it is. You're getting suggestions from people to talk about that night on the stage. You haven't practiced these jokes. You might not really know these topics. You are trying to come up with them and make them funny on the spot on a paid show that is actually very well. You don't do like that. You might have one joke that you might want to work in, or something that's topical that you might want to quickly go to, and then fall back on your proven jokes that do well. But you don't want to ask people for suggestions to do a whole new fucking set, because hosting is one of the most important parts of a show, and also the headliner is one of the most important parts, because hosting sets the crowd, sets the tone. If a host does well, the comics that follow after that will do well. But if you start up top doing newish jokes, or not even newish jokes you just fucking got suggestions on, and that's not the type of show what's going on, you're setting the audience and the comics following you after for failure, because you're trying new shit. You're trying these new, not even new shit. It's just written stuff. You would never, like, I bet you would never see a national touring headliner do this. I just wrote these this morning. I'm gonna fucking go do them. That's like, for like a Netflix special, or like a special of theirs. Well, Lil Rel did it one time, but yeah, but he's not new. He's been doing it for hella years, right? So you won't see guys doing that, or they'll let you know these are jokes I'm working out. Like I think some comedians are doing that now. I think like Hassan Minaj, Kevin Hart does that. Kevin Hart, I always see him like he'll go to Levity Live in Oxnard, and he was like, new material. It says on the ticket, new material. This is basically the shit I'm trying out. Probably, let's say if it's March right now, I'm trying this shit out right now. I'm about to start taking this on the road, and then he'll probably announce like a theater tour, stadium tour, July. So he's been writing this probably from January to March. I'm trying this out. These smaller venues, these smaller clubs, a lot of places where people don't see me as much, like Oxnard, Fresno, Bakersfield, let's say like New Mexico, parts of Arizona and shit like that. Like the place I'll go to these few spots, stuff like that. I can try this shit out. They'll laugh at, they'll give me honest feedback because I'm normally not here. They won't just laugh because I'm Kevin Hart, right? They'll do that and then go on tour with those jokes that like been writing and shit like that. You don't do that to start the host. Like a lot of people don't know this, but a lot of comics don't like to host. Like they don't like to host. They don't like to go up because they thinking the jokes that they normally do, right? It's like why is these jokes not working? Why aren't these jokes going? Like these jokes supposed to be working. What's going on? Oh, it's a cold crowd. It's my job to warm up these people for these jokes, right? That's why usually when I'm hosting, right, I'll do like a minute and a half, 2 minutes of crowd work. Not even crowd work. It's really just asking like, how you guys doing? You guys on a date? You had a we'll do. Or I make it awkward. Yeah, not on a date. Y'all fucking? Y'all friends? Like, what is this? Like, what's going on? And stuff like that. And then that just kind of like gets like a little reaction or so like I remember I was in the improv. I was like, who's single? And then two people next to each other raised hands, and I was like, the fuck? I was like, y'all both single right now? They was like, yeah. I said, y'all single, but like, y'all here. They said, yeah. On a date? I was like, okay, we fucking. Y'all just fucking. And they was like, I don't know. I was like, oh, you trying to fuck? Oh, okay, I see what's going on. And then just kind of warm up the crowd because everybody is like into me talking to this couple who's like both single, both here right now, and kind of figure out like, okay, what are they doing? What are they doing? And some people like, well, I hope you don't call on me. And then you calling them like, oh shit, like, oh, he called on me. Like, oh damn, what I say, don't embarrass myself. Hi, yeah, no, I'm single. And then like if they have a ring on, which would be hilarious. Like, you single? Like, yeah, you got a ring on. And they just kind of go like this. Well, those guys see like they took their hand and just put it under. I'm like, oh, well, shit, talk to me after the show. All right. And you go from there because then you can start getting into jokes. And then now you warmed up the crowd because you had this little interaction with people. And that's like for them. People sometimes love crowd work or just like quick little banter because it's like, oh, I'm part of the show. I'm in this show. But don't go too long, or I was told never talk to too many tables. Like if it's like 5 or 6, 7 tables in front, talk to 2 tables, because then if the headliner or the feature wants to come out, usually for the headliner wants to come out and talk to the other tables, I haven't exhausted all the material with everybody. I've only exhausted for these 2 tables. And if they're hearing or if they're listening, they can like, okay, he talked about this with these 2 and come out. And then you start learning stuff over the course of the show. But if I talk to this table, this table, this table, this table, this table, like that, it's like now, if I wanted to bring them in, fuck, he did that. Okay, he did that. And it just makes it a little harder. But yeah, don't ask for suggestions from people online to like what I'm gonna talk about tonight. Also, this is what I love. I'm gonna try to end on this, right? I love the confidence of new comics because I feel like new comics need to keep that at all times, because new comics want to think they can headline within 6 months. You can't, but it's great to have the confidence and the mindset, let's say, is that I want to headline one day and I'm gonna keep working till I get to that, right? But sometimes keep the confidence. Don't be arrogant though. Like one of 50 Cent has, he's like, they mistake my confidence and arrogance. They hate on the kid. One of my favorite lines, right? But don't become arrogant. Don't do what this other comic is saying. I need suggestions for tonight because I'm tired of telling these jokes. What you could do, tell them out of order. I remember I was listening to Lil Rel. Lil Rel said sometimes he tells his closer at the beginning of his show because each one of his jokes should be a closer because he's just that damn funny. And I was like, oh shit. I was like, I'm gonna start trying that. So you start off with a joke straight up, that's a killer. Now let's see if the rest of your jokes can follow that joke. Like lately, I talk about tall chicks all the time, and now I'm starting to think maybe this shouldn't be my first joke. This should be a joke that's in the middle. Like I got them on my side now, because sometimes I'll go out, I'm hosting, and people are kind of like, "What, tall chicks? No, that's kind of." But if it's kind of in the middle, I got them warmed up a little bit. Now they be on my side more, and it's kind of like a different realm instead of coming out to like this cold kind of crowd. So yeah, so new comics, always be confident, always working to striving to be a headliner, but don't be arrogant enough where you're like, oh, I'm gonna just try something new tonight, because especially if you're hosting, you might ruin the show. Now you can try something new in the middle of your set, like if you got 10 to 15 minutes, try it like at the 5-minute mark, because then when you're trying something new, it's sandwiching between good material. There's a little small part, like, okay, that didn't work. You can abandon it, and then now you just got all this other time to make up. But don't try like a whole new fucking set when you're hosting, or just try not even that. Just don't try whole new ideas you just got from Instagram on a show. It's gonna pay you pretty well, and it might mess up your chance of future bookings because you don't know who's working there. All right, that's been it of the Corde Snell show. All right. Did you get your hour of Corde this week? Did you get your hour of the show? Make sure you tune in every week, Mondays on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Music. The Corde Snell Show. We're always here to give you some more, to make your day better. If I made you laugh, if I made you cry, if I gave you some dating advice, if you related to dating golf chicks, dating punk rock chicks, or thinking that Twilight is stupid as shit, tune in every week. Ain't that right, Noah? Ain't Twilight stupid?
No.
Stop lying to the people. All right, we've been out. Corde Snell Show, and we're out.